All right, welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be diving deep into the world of James Dyson,
Okay.
the man behind the vacuums, the hair dryers, and so much more. And you guys sent in a ton of stuff for this
A
one.
lot of information, yeah.
We have articles, websites, biographies, a leadership blog post.
Really runs the gamut.
Yeah, so let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
So I think the most iconic thing
Yeah.
that most people know James Dyson for are those vacuums,
Right.
the bagless vacuums.
Mhm.
And what's interesting is that it actually all stemmed from his own frustration with vacuum cleaners.
I can relate to that for sure.
Yeah, and I was reading that he was using a Hoover Jr.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he found himself constantly having to unclog it.
Always having to mess with it. Yeah.
And I guess that kind of led him to think there's got to be a better way.
I think a lot of great inventions come from that moment where you think, this is ridiculous. There's got to be a better way.
Yeah, and then, so where does the sawmill come into this?
So he was looking for a solution,
Yeah.
right? And he just happened to observe an industrial sawmill
Okay.
and how they use cyclone technology to separate sawdust from the air.
Wow.
And a light bulb went off in his head, and he was like, wait a minute. I can apply this same principle to a vacuum cleaner
That's fascinating.
to separate dirt without needing a bag
Yeah.
that's going to clog up and reduce suction.
It's amazing how sometimes the simplest ideas can be so revolutionary.
Right. And, and a lot of people, I think, would have stopped there,
Yeah.
satisfied with the idea like, oh, this is going to work. I'm going to go patent this or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, he spent years and built over 5,000 prototypes.
5,000.
527 to be exact.
I was going to say, did you find out how many exactly it was?
I did 527 prototypes before he got it right.
I can't even imagine.
That's persistence.
Yeah. Like, what kept him going through all those failures?
All right. It's almost like the failures were part of the process. And I think that's something really important to note about Dyson's story is this sort of counterintuitive nature of learning from failure.
It's so true.
We're always told, don't fail, get it right. Do it perfect the first time.
Right.
But his story is all about embracing failure, analyzing it,
Yeah.
and using it as a stepping stone
Right.
to improvement.
So it's not like he just built 5,000 prototypes.
No.
Each one was like, okay, why did that one fail? What can I learn from that and apply to the next one?
Precisely. And that's a great lesson for all of us, I think.
Definitely.
Maybe instead of looking at setbacks as a dead end,
Yeah.
look at it as an opportunity to learn and pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole approach to problem solving is a recurring theme
Yeah.
throughout Dyson's career. And we see it again in his very first major invention,
Okay.
the ball barrel.
No, I've heard of the ball barrel, but I
And
don't really know anything about it.
So the ball barrel was essentially a wheelbarrow,
Okay.
but instead of a wheel,
Okay.
it had a ball. And you might think, well, that's kind of a weird, quirky change.
Yeah.
But it actually addressed a very real frustration with wheelbarrows.
Okay.
They tend to get stuck in mud
Makes sense.
or soft ground.
Okay.
And so the ball allowed for smoother movement and easier maneuverability.
So it's like he found the problem
Yeah.
and he's like, how can I solve that problem?
Exactly.
And it's not just about coming up with a wacky invention.
Right.
It's actually a practical solution to a real problem.
And it's that willingness to question assumptions and challenge the status quo
Yeah.
that I think makes him such a disruptive innovator.
Yeah, I think it really does.
Because the ball barrel wasn't just a quirky invention.
Right.
It demonstrated this incredible ability to find real-world problems and come up with unconventional solutions.
And that I guess that led to him forming his own company.
Yes.
Dyson Ltd.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just going to be about the ball barrel at that point.
Right. He wanted to build a company,
No.
a culture of innovation.
Yeah.
And from what I've read, he really encourages his engineers to experiment,
Yeah.
build prototypes.
Well, they have a lot more than just vacuums now.
Yeah.
They've got hand dryers,
Mhm.
they've got hairstylers, all sorts of things.
They even have a lighting division, I believe.
Yeah, really like a whole ecosystem of products.
Yeah.
And it seems like all of them stem from this idea of let's take something and make it better.
Yeah, and make it different, kind of challenge the assumptions about what that product should be and how it should function.
Yeah. And so how does the Coanda effect play into all of that?
Oh, that's right. So you're talking about the hairstylers.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. This is a principle of aerodynamics
Okay.
where a jet of air stays attached to a curved surface.
Okay.
And Dyson's engineers were like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We can apply this to hairstyling.
So there's real science behind it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just like a gimmick.
It's not just, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah.
They actually have engineers and scientists figuring out how to apply these principles to everyday products.
Yeah.
And it's clear that Dyson, the company, is constantly looking for new challenges and opportunities to innovate.
Yeah, and not just consumer products either, right?
Right, we're going to get into that.
Okay, awesome.
We're going to talk about electric cars and robotic strawberry pickers.
Oh, we got to talk about those strawberry pickers.
Those are my favorite. So yeah, they really are going beyond just consumer products.
Okay.
Dyson's got some pretty ambitious projects in the works.
Like what? What are we talking about here?
Well, for one, they've been developing electric cars.
Oh, wow.
And even robotic strawberry pickers.
Hold on, robotic strawberry pickers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Those are interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
But it actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
When you think about Dyson and his interest in farming.
Yeah, I read that he owns like thousands of acres of farmland.
Exactly. And he's spoken a lot about the need to make agriculture more efficient.
Right.
Less reliant on human labor.
So these strawberry pickers are like a solution to that problem.
That's the idea.
Wow.
You know, create robots that can go out into the fields,
Okay.
identify ripe strawberries,
Uh-huh.
pick them delicately without damaging them.
Yeah.
It's a huge engineering challenge.
I can imagine.
Computer vision,
Right.
AI, robotics all coming together.
Yeah, and what about the Dyson electric car?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I remember hearing about that.
That was a big project.
Yeah.
Generated a lot of buzz.
It was supposed to be like this high-performance electric vehicle, right?
Yeah, but ultimately they decided not to bring it to market.
Really? Why not?
Well, the electric car market is super competitive these days.
Yeah, I guess it is.
We've got Tesla and all the major car manufacturers.
That's a crowded space for sure.
And Dyson just couldn't really compete on price or scale.
It's interesting how even someone as successful as James Dyson can run into these kinds of roadblocks.
Right, and I think it's a valuable lesson,
Definitely.
even if it was an expensive one,
Yeah, for sure.
about market realities.
Yeah, you can't just invent something amazing
Right.
and expect it to be a hit.
You got to think about the market, the competition, all of that.
But I guess the good thing is that Dyson's not afraid to take risks.
Absolutely not.
He's not afraid to try new things.
Right, even if they don't always pan out.
So, okay, we talked about his inventions, his
Yeah.
company, his ventures into these kind of bigger projects,
Right,
like electric cars and strawberry picking robots.
right.
But what about James Dyson, the person?
Yeah, what kind of insights did we get from those biographical materials?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one thing that really stands out is his hands-on approach.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just a guy who comes up with ideas.
Yeah,
He loves to be involved in the design and engineering process.
that makes sense.
He'll even build prototypes himself.
Which, speaking of which, did you read about the whole vacuum forming machine incident
Oh, yeah.
where he bypassed the electricity meter in his basement?
It's like that DIY spirit just runs deep.
Yeah, for sure.
But it also kind of makes you wonder,
Yeah,
where's the line between hands-on
right.
and, bending the rules?
Yeah, it's kind of a funny story.
It is, yeah.
But it also says something about his personality.
It does.
Like, he's this brilliant innovator
Yeah,
who's pushing the boundaries of technology,
right.
but he's also a little bit of a maverick.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to break the rules.
He's not afraid to do things his own way.
And I guess that kind of leads us into the whole Brexit thing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because he was a big supporter of Brexit, wasn't he?
He was very vocal about it, yeah.
Which is obviously a pretty controversial topic.
Yeah, highly
A
controversial.
lot of strong opinions on both sides.
Absolutely.
And Dyson believed that leaving the EU would allow the UK to be more agile,
Yeah.
more innovative,
Right.
free from bureaucratic constraints.
Free from red tape.
Yeah, exactly.
And, of course, a lot of people disagreed with him.
Yeah,
They accused him of putting his own business interests ahead of the country's.
right.
And it's a complex issue, for sure.
It is.
But regardless of where you stand on Brexit,
Yeah.
I think it shows that Dyson's not afraid to take a stand.
Mm-hmm.
He's not afraid to voice his opinions, even if they're unpopular,
Right.
which is pretty admirable in a way.
Yeah, it is.
But let's not forget about his philanthropy.
Oh, yes, the James Dyson Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's clearly passionate about education,
He is.
especially in design and engineering.
Yeah, he believes that fostering the next generation of engineers and designers
Yeah.
is crucial to solving the world's problems.
And he's not just like writing a check.
No.
He's really involved.
Right. He built his own university.
The Dyson Institute of Engineering and Technology.
Exactly.
Which is amazing.
And he's shaping the curriculum.
Wow.
To focus on practical problem solving.
Yeah.
Real world experience.
So it's not your typical engineering school?
Not at all.
No, it's very hands-on.
It is very hands-on.
Very much like Dyson himself.
Exactly. The students actually earn a salary while they study.
Oh, wow.
They work on real projects alongside experienced engineers.
That's a pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah, talk about learning by doing.
It's really inspiring to see someone so successful use their platform to not only create innovative products, but also to really give back.
And inspire and educate the next generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a powerful reminder that innovation isn't just about technological advancements.
It's about empowering people to think differently.
Exactly, to challenge assumptions and to create a better future.
Yeah, and that brings us back to those robotic strawberry pickers.
Oh, yes, back to the robot.
Yeah, those strawberry pickers are really fascinating.
They are.
It seems like such a specific problem to focus on, though.
Right, but it represents a much bigger challenge.
Okay, how so?
The need for automation in agriculture.
Oh.
Think about it. Harvesting fruits and vegetables.
Right.
It's really labor intensive.
Yeah.
It often relies on seasonal workers.
Right.
And the costs are always going up.
Okay, so these robots could be a solution to that.
Exactly, and it goes beyond strawberries, too.
Oh, okay.
Dyson's team, they're developing robots that can do all sorts of agricultural tasks.
Like what?
Pruning vines, weeding fields.
Really?
Yeah, it's all part of this vision
Uh-huh.
to make farming more efficient, more sustainable.
And they're not just like basic robots.
No.
I mean, they're pretty sophisticated, right?
Yeah, they use cameras and AI
Wow.
to assess ripeness, and they only pick the perfect fruit.
So they're like training robots to see and judge?
It's pretty remarkable.
Like a human would.
It's almost like they're giving robots a sense of taste.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine what other tasks we'll be able to automate in the future?
It's exciting, but it's also a little bit scary.
It is.
Because you think about the future of work.
Right.
And you know, what role will humans play if robots are doing all the jobs?
Right. But Dyson's actually addressed that.
Oh, okay. What does he say?
He said that he sees automation as a way to free up humans from those tedious, repetitive tasks.
Right.
So that we can focus on more creative and fulfilling work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's an innovator himself.
Right.
So he understands.
So it's not about replacing humans.
Yeah.
It's about augmenting human capabilities.
And I guess that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, his core belief in the importance of innovation.
Absolutely.
It's not just about creating new products.
Right.
It's about constantly pushing boundaries.
Exactly.
Finding new solutions to challenges.
And remember at the beginning of this whole deep dive, we were talking about Dyson and his relentless pursuit of solving problems.
Right. Yeah, that seems to be a theme throughout his whole career.
Yeah, starting with that clogged vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And now this vision he has for a more sustainable future.
It's pretty incredible.
It's really amazing how one person can have such an impact.
It is.
And it all starts with that simple question.
Yeah.
Can we do this better?
And it's that willingness to ask that question, to challenge assumptions, that leads to progress.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a really fascinating deep dive.
It has.
I feel like we learned a lot about James Dyson.
We did.
About his inventions, about his company, and his vision for the future.
And hopefully our listeners feel inspired.
Yeah, definitely.
To maybe apply some of these principles to their own lives.
Absolutely.
You know, what problems are you passionate about solving?
Yeah.
How can you be more innovative in your own way?
So if you could ask James Dyson one question, what would it be?
Yeah, think about that.
Keep those questions coming.
Keep exploring.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.